Welcome, welcome, welcome. Broadcasting live, Clutch Sports Radio, Thursday night. Is that what night it is today? Coleman, it's been a crazy, crazy week. It is Thursday night, 8 to 10, broadcasting live here, eyesradio.com. Check us out. That's where you can get in the chat box, right, Coleman? Is that where you're in there?
Absolutely, I'm in there right now.
I need to get in there myself. So, welcome, Coleman. How you doing? Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday to you. I'm doing pretty well. Ready for a weekend. I'm actually going skiing this weekend.
Are you really? Where are you going?
Wintergreen.
Where the heck is Wintergreen?
I think it's like 45 minutes from Charlottesville. But I'm pumped because I think they actually got a snowstorm yesterday. Unlike Northern Virginia, at least around here, my house, I didn't get anything.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't get any snow whatsoever?
Well, I mean, yeah, we got snow, but it barely stuck. It was nothing.
It wasn't anything that they were saying, right? I mean, I got snow here, and I went sledding.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude, I went sledding, got snow, all the good stuff. Pegged the dog in the face a few times with a snowball. Like, I did it all. But, yeah, man, are you surprised that there wasn't any snow or anything really to the point where whatever was projected, not even close? Are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised at all. I feel like the weathermen are always like, making everybody freak out. Everybody runs to the grocery store, stocks up on everything, and then we get like a wintry mix and half of what we are supposed to get.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty disappointing thing. I don't know what's wrong with these guys. Really, I remember when they were semi-close in terms of predicting the weather, and now they're not ever close. I don't think. What do you think?
No, not really. And they closed like the federal government. Everybody got off work, got off school and whatnot. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't know. Something is going on here. But you know what? Like I said, thank everyone for checking us out, for supporting us during the week, for downloading the show from iTunes, from Stitcher Radio app, all that good stuff, and also from the website, eyesradio.com. And thank you also for checking out darwin-sports.com. Over 3,000 of you guys went by there this past month, and I really do appreciate it because it was the first month of that site being up and over 3,000 people checked it out. That's really, really cool. So thank you for everyone who's doing that. Also, we have tons of announcements, all kinds of things going on here on Clutch Sports Radio and with Eyes Radio Network. So the 31st of this month, there's a event, which is a network event. It's called All Eyes on Us, and it's a second annual All Eyes on Us with Lorenzo Alexander from the Washington Redskins special teams captain. So his ACES Foundation, it benefits children and whatnot, and really, really good stuff. We're going to be teaming up with him. He's going to be at the event. There's tons of fun prizes that are going to be given away, signed gloves, tickets to games, etc., etc. And like I said, he's going to be there. You can meet with him and talk to him, take some pictures, all that good stuff. All of the shows on the network are also going to be live. Coleman, you excited about it?
Oh man, I'm pumped.
And there's tons of not only that, but there's drink specials, right? Is that what I hear? And it's at the Green Turtle. Let's first start off there. It's at the Green Turtle in Fairfax, Virginia. There's food specials. There's going to be drink specials. You know what my favorite is for $6.99 is the Hog Hammers. Absolutely. That is a day that I am not going to be watching what I eat. Coleman, I'm going to be eating the freaking dang Hog Hammers, chowing them down, dude.
Got my eyes on the loaded waffle fries.
Do you know what the Hog Hammers are?
No.
Dude, it's like they're ribs.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. I don't know why they call them Hog Hammers. They're like the most ridiculous, delicious ribs. Oh my gosh. Look, Hog Hammer time every time I go to the Caps game, which by the way, 4-0 people. 4-0 for the Washington Capitals. Coleman, real quick, are you excited about these Caps? Are you rocking the red all over again?
They're giving me a reason to be excited recently. They're on a little bit of a roll. I'm loving it. It's awesome.
They're doing something. It's pretty exciting, I guess. You know, we'll take some action here in Washington, D.C. I'll definitely take it. Let me ask you a question, Coleman. I know you are a big dude when it comes to The Bachelor.
Yeah.
I know. I got you. I'm putting you out. I'm putting your business out there. What do you think about the American Idol? Is it time for American Idol to go away?
I'm starting to think it actually is. I watch my fair share of singing shows. I watch The Voice and then watch X Factor as well. The Voice is by far the best show. Has most of the talent, if you ask me. American Idol, I watched a little bit of it the other night. It just doesn't do it for me. I feel like the talent isn't there. The judges annoy the hell out of me. I'm sorry, I can't take Nicki Minaj on that show, but yeah, it definitely goes The Voice, X Factor, then American Idol, distant third for me.
Yeah, I remember. Well, I don't watch The Voice. I don't watch a lot of these shows that you just listed. Coleman, you lost me pretty much. You know, you had me at hello in terms of Jerry Maguire. You lost me when you began that, sucker. I do remember. I mean, I watched American Idol when it first started. I think it was. I think I got lost after like the second or third season. But at this point in time, do you think these shows? I mean, obviously people love them, right?
Yeah, I mean, they I think they're still some of the most watched shows on TV and get the best ratings. So, yeah, I guess there's still a reason for them to have them.
Man, I guess so. I don't know. I think it's about time for these things to go away. What is your favorite show out there? But speaking of, the reason why I was getting to this, when I started off the show, it was Thursday, tomorrow, Friday. I thought first thing that popped in my head is TGIF. Do you remember, Mike? As I was growing up, I've talked about it on many times. I'm sure you guys are heard of it before. I love watching TGIF on what was it, channel NBC? Was it or I don't remember.
It was ABC.
ABC.
I think.
Dude, it was awesome. It was like Family Matters back in the day. You're probably too young for this.
No, dude.
You watch Family Matters?
Man. Yeah, we
Step by Step.
Friday Night Tradition.
Right?
Friday Night Tradition with all
Family
those
Matters,
shows. Yeah.
Step by Step. What was it? Boy Meets World.
Was Full House on?
No. But Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets World was, yeah.
And at one point later on, it got to Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like me Melissa Joan Hart. That's when I was like, Melissa. Dude, I was in Googling. That's when I learned what Google was. That's awesome. But no, dude, it was good stuff. Did you know, what the heck channel is it? I am drawing a blank, but for the past 3 nights, I've watched back-to-back episodes of Family Matters.
Family Matters?
Dude, really? Family Matters.
Huh. That's got to, I don't know what channel that's going to be on.
I forget. I'm going to take a picture of it next time. Dude, but it's awesome. Like, man, I've seen Stefan Urkel. Like, Steve when he was a little nerd. Like, last night's episode was when Laura her whole plan was to get Steve Urkel to forget her. He found a little nerdy girl. Did you ever watch that episode? And the girl was like, looked like a female version of Steve Urkel. And they ended up hitting it off, and like Laura ended up missing him. And she called him up and she goes, Steve, I got something to say. Can you come over to my house? Before she got off the phone, the dude was like at the doorstep. He was like, what, my love? It was the best, dude.
And his little Steve Urkel voice.
Yeah, dude. I love it. Steve Urkel, but Stefan Urkel, man, that's when I learned moves to use on chicks. I remember that dude was so smooth.
That's where it came from.
Yeah, that's where it came from. Stefan Urkel. I remember the part where he took Laura downstairs and he had some champagne and Laura took a sip. She goes, ooh, the bubbles tickle my nose. He goes, lucky bubbles. I was like, oh snap! I was like, that dude is smooth.
That's where it all started.
That's where everything started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get started, I guess really with the show tonight, I did want to give my alma mater, my high school alma mater, that is Woodson High School, big shout out for a great basketball season. They won the first region championship in Woodson basketball history this year, and went on and unfortunately lost in the state tournament this previous Monday in the semifinals. But great year overall. Big props to Coach Craig and the Cavaliers, making us proud.
Dude, that's awesome!
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. I remember playing Woodson when I was in high school. Did your team? Did you ever play on a team that made it to like a championship or something close to that?
Yeah, so I won the region championship in soccer, and we lost in the state semifinals actually as well, and also won a district championship in basketball. So yeah, a couple championships. I had a good sports career.
What position did you play in soccer?
Soccer, well, center midfield mostly.
Center midfield,
but also play a little forward.
Dude, so you ran around a lot, huh?
Mm-hmm. I was in a lot better shape than I am today, that's for sure.
Okay, yeah. See, when I was in high school, I played lacrosse. My senior year was when we got to regionals too. We made it to the regional playoffs, lost first round. We played Dude, we played Mount. That makes me so mad. Look at that. I just freaking slammed my phone down. Out of all the freaking schools we got matched up against, we went to Mount Vernon, played Mount Vernon at Mount Vernon in the first round, and lost to Mount Vernon. Are you kidding me? Mount Vernon had no stick skills, no skilled players. They were just dudes that were playing on the football team. There were dudes that were smaller than me that were knocking our 200 pounds dude on their butts like it was just crackers, snapping them in half. Because they were dudes that played football, and they knew how to hit people. Like, they were killing big dudes. It doesn't matter. And, dude, they just ended up just smacking the crap out of all of us, essentially. And we lost that game, I think, by like 2 goals. But that
still haven't let it go.
No, because man, that whole first round of the playoffs, I was doing the face-offs, dude. That was my favorite part, and I did it my senior year was face-offs. Like that's my thing. I mean, I'm like, why did I not do face-offs the 3 years? That was a lot of fun getting in there. But yeah, man, one time. That's my moment of glory. And like I told you, I mentioned to you, Woodson were ridiculous. They were like the champs, monsters. I actually scored against Woodson, and it was nice. That was one of my career highlights. 2 minutes left in the game. The dude passes me the ball. Me and the goalie, I go, scoop! You think I'm going up top shelf? Dog, I'm going down. Bounce the ball, hits the dirt. Boom. Goal. Let me just tell you, I freaking threw myself on the ground. I was like, ah! It was a moment of glory.
And we're getting love from Woodson in the chat box. Gotta love it, man. That's
there you
awesome.
go. See?
Awesome.
Look at that. Clutch Sports Radio bringing Clutch Sports Radio together or something like that. But yeah, check us out, guys. I need to tweet it out there. But check it out, eyesradio.com. Every Thursday, we have a chat box going on. So you can log on in there and chat with us and have a little fun, interact, all that good stuff. And you can trickle in. I know tonight I had folks saying that they were going to be missing first hour, getting on the second hour, et cetera, et cetera. So it doesn't matter when you come. Just come. Stop by for a minute. I don't care. Leave. But at least say hi. That's all I'm saying. Just say hi. So check out the other shows also. Backfield Radio. Wednesday nights you have the Noise Sports on Mondays and Urban Sports Scene. Wally, my dude. Urban Sports Scene. So check out the other shows on the Eyes Radio Network, eyesradio.com, and of course, Clutch Sports Radio every Thursday night, 8 to 10. So, what else, Coleman? What else? Did you do anything fun this week? This week has flown for me.
Yeah, so I graduated from Virginia Tech last May. Actually, this week I was back there recruiting other college level people for work, and it was weird, man. It was weird to be back on the other side of things, but I was also happy to be back. I missed that place. Blacksburg's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually I've been there twice. Visited. Dude, the field looks amazing. I want to go there. Again, sorry, Coleman. This is like announcement central. I have here, people, HD video for you guys that log on to darwin-sports.com the day after. Tons of you do. Check it out. HD right there. This is March 31st. Our friends at oofights.com are putting on this awesome event. If you're a UFC MMA fan, Colton Smith, Ultimate Fighter, you can watch that show on TV running. He just won the champion. He's a champion, the last one for Ultimate Fighter. So he will be fighting that night. He's the former OO title holder as well. So check it out. It's going to be Saturday, March 30th at 7 p.m. at the Dulles Sportsplex. All the information is at oofights.com, oofights.com. You can follow them on Twitter. Check them out on Facebook, their YouTube. They have all their fights up there. It's again, I checked it out. I'm a big MMA fan. The Octagon, guys, they have it all going on. It's a really awesome show. It essentially is pretty much like you're going to a UFC fight show. Like the cameras, you name it. Like this cameras move. Like there's screens so you don't miss the actual shots when you can see the submissions like up close and personal if you have like the bad seats, which hopefully you don't, but who knows? We all do at some point. It is really, really cool. So check it out, oofights.com. Colton Smith, March 30th. So really excited. I'm gonna be there. I'm really excited actually. And one last reminder or announcement, and this is it. No more announcements. March 16th. This is a good one, though. March 16th, come join myself, Liddell Betts, and Lamar Marshall. We are going to be at the Buffalo Wing Factory in Ashburn, benefiting. It's for a charity cause for the Douglas J. Green Memorial Foundation. This foundation was started because of the passing of Douglas Green, overseas soldier fighting for his country. His family started this organization. It's a great, great cause. Just come out and hang out with us. That's all I'm going to be doing with Liddell and Lamar, our good friends. We're just going to be eating some food, hanging out, having a good time. So come on by. There's going to be an auction, all kinds of cool stuff, spa things, resort, golf stuff. I don't know, all kinds of stuff is going to be auctioned off. So check it out. Please go to darwin-sports.com. Click on the upcoming events for more information. But I really, really hope to see all of you there. Coleman, I hope. I just call you Coleman because of this dude. Coleman, I hope that you're there too.
Absolutely, man.
And one last thing. I know I said it. Coleman's taking one home. These are by our friends of OO Fights. Cage Girl calendar, 2013 calendar, people. Come on. They're free. I'm giving them out. So check out. I'm going to be tweeting a lot of this information. If you listen to this show, tweet me, please, at Darwin Sports, and I will send you a free calendar on behalf of OO Fights. So yeah, that's about it. So let's get the what do they say? Let's get the party started, right? Is that what they say? I don't know. I can't sing.
Must be what you say.
Is that what I say? Dude, I'm a good singer, Coleman. You didn't know that? I'm a very good singer. That was pretty cool. By the way, thank you, friend, Mr. Adam Carricker, my friend, my amigo, Clutch Sports Radio friend, for doing that little promo for us during the week. So thank you to him, Nick Sundberg, and the rest of you people, you know who you are, that are going to be doing this for me as well. So let's get on with it. NFL talk, Coleman. I'm really excited, man. There's tons of free agents. Have you been keeping up with? There's a lot of free agent talk, good ones, bad ones. Here's a name. I want to get started. The name that just gets me excited. That is Mike Wallace. Mike Wallace gets me excited. There's no talk of any sorts that have come from the Redskins organization of any interest towards Mike Wallace, which absolutely sucks. But again, that's me just a wish. But I like him. I think he's awesome. I think the speed. He's not one of those guys. Obviously, he's had doubts, and that's why he is what he is. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are putting him out on the market, et cetera, et cetera. But man, that speed kills, and he's got it. He's got a decent size. I think he's going to be a threat no matter what team he goes to. But that's definitely my favorite. My favorite free agent on the market is Mike Wallace. What do you think?
Yeah, well. Are we talking in terms of Redskins or
just all together?
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that's hard. That's pretty hard to argue with at this point in time. I mean, Mike Wallace is definitely a game changer. Somebody out there that a lot of teams would like to have, and he's definitely something that it's probably caught the Redskins' eye. But in terms of the Redskins, they know they can't really do anything about it. That cap penalty is really going to hold them back this offseason. But yeah, I think it's pretty interesting, the Mike Wallace story. And then also I'm looking at a Hall of Famer and what he's going to do this offseason, and Ed Reed. I think his kind of story and the way he's kind of progressed throughout this offseason will be something to keep an eye on.
Yeah. That's exciting. Well, who's your number one? Since I started with I get excited over Mike Wallace. Who's your excitement? Anyone in particular?
Yeah, I think the wide receiver position as a whole is my favorite because you got some big names there: Mike Wallace, Greg Jennings, Wes Welker, some different positions or some different big name guys just in that category that I think could be getting a lot of money from some different teams and are definitely going to be an area to look out for as the offseason progresses and as free agency opens. And I know somebody that already got a big payday from that position, Dwayne Bowe, as you probably saw last week.
Yeah.
he got his from the Chiefs. So in proven to be a big piece of that offense, especially when they have somebody that can throw him the ball. So that's a big position this offseason.
Yeah. I'm looking at here at the wide receiver rankings from NFL.com. They're saying Mike Wallace, number 1, number 2, Greg Jennings, number 3, Wes Welker. Let's dissect those. Mike Wallace, enough from Mike Wallace. I'm excited. I love the guy. Yeah. Greg Jennings. What do you think about Greg Jennings? He's an older dude. I mean, what kind of a franchise, if you're the Washington Redskins, obviously you don't want that kind of player. You're over that kind of player in that situation. But what kind of team do you see Greg Jennings really fitting in and really going and just that, fitting in and having a good time? I mean, it has to. I don't know if you can give me a name. I'm not putting you on the spot like that. But really, essentially, it has to be a team that is on the up and up, is at the point where they're playoffs every single year. I mean, and Mike Jennings Greg Jennings is going to play a position. He's going to play a role. You know, he's not going to be whatever your number 1, number 2. He's going to be a slot player or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
So Greg Jennings, I love Greg Jennings when he was coming up and starting to be a big time target in the league. So I think his story has kind of been pretty interesting. But at the same time, it's hard not to think that he at least might be a little bit of a product of Aaron Rodgers, of the Green Bay Packers system. I mean, they have a lot of wide receivers and a lot of people up there that have had some good years, good games. James Jones last year kind of broke out a little bit. But really, I think, he's won. Greg Jennings has won a little bit in his career already. I think he's going to look to get paid. So it might not necessarily be a contender, but I think even maybe a team towards the bottom half of the league that might be willing to shell out the big bucks is really where you're going to see him end up.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it is with everyone. Okay, so let's go number 3, Wes Welker. Wes Welker, I love Wes Welker, but you've heard it before probably. Wes Welker's probably going to get paid by the Patriots. The Patriots really need Wes Welker. Let's put it like that. I really need Wes Welker. What do you think?
Well, this is just, it's so hard for me to imagine Wes Welker in a different uniform than the Patriots uniform.
Yeah, definitely.
I know he hasn't always been there. He was with Miami before, but still, I just can't imagine him on another team next year other than the Patriots playing without Tom Brady. It just doesn't fit for me. And I definitely think that he'll be back. They're going to find a way to get that piece of their team back and obviously playing for him next year.
They're going to have to. And the same, I saw Danny Woodhead is another dude that's on the free agent market for the Patriots. And Danny Woodhead's another dude that plays a great role for the Pats. And the Pats, he's going to be cheap, dude. Let's talk about, all right, let's keep going around the league. And then I really want to get into the Redskins because there's definitely some good names also on the Redskins side. All right, let's see. What else who else are you excited about? I mean, well, some guys already, just like you're saying, some guys already picked up. The Cowboys have kept their linebacker, Spencer.
Yeah, and that was, I know he broke out for them last year, and they had a position. That was definitely a position also where they were kind of weakening on it. They had some injuries in the past couple of years, and so he ended up being a pretty good product for them, and so I think it's pretty big and kind of going unnoticed, the fact that they're able to haul him back in. So that's a big win for them.
Very big win. So going on NFL.com's little top 10, it looks like Mike Wallace, number 1, Cliff Avril, number 2, Paul Kruger, 3, Jake Long, 4. Jake Long was great at the beginning, but his injuries have been huge concern for this dude. That you just don't know what you're going to get out of Jake Long. I heard his brother looks like a really old man. His younger brother who's just entering, he's on the combine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I forget the dang younger brother's name, but he looks like he's like a 30-year-old, like 18-year-old, or you know what I mean? One of those dudes. It's funny because when I saw Jake Long's name come up this week a lot, I saw Dr. Andrews. Dr. Andrews, shut your mouth, my man. You talk too much. You're a doctor. Go operate. He's talking. He's going on record about Jake Long now, because he operated on him. So I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, this dude. So Danny Amendola, number 5. Danny Amendola again is one of those guys who plays he's a great slot player, but he's going to be one of those great fits for the Rams. You know what I mean? The Rams really need Danny Amendola. Who do the Rams have? You know what I'm saying? And Amendola killed the Redskins last season, so keep him just for the Redskins at least. If you're going to do that, you're playing the Redskins quite often. You're going to beat the Redskins with just Danny. So there you go. W in the books. Rashard Mendenhall. O.C. Umenyiora, number 8. LaRon Landry, number 9. I cannot believe I hear LaRon Landry. Dude, are you kidding me? But let's go back it up to number 8. O.C. Umenyiora. The dude, 2011, 2-time Super Bowl champion. The dude is phenomenal. He's been pretty unhappy with the Giants regarding his contract, and now he's out. What do you think about this guy? Regarding him being out there, you really haven't heard much talk about O.C. Umenyiora, I don't think.
Yeah, and it's a pretty interesting topic. Is OC? I mean, the Giants. I feel like they were kind of dealing with this last season a little bit. I just feel like at one point they were so loaded along the defensive line that I feel like they should have tried to move a piece, try to get something else. But obviously, I mean, these guys are going to end up wanting to get paid. I mean, they had Tuck, Umenyiora, Pierre-Paul, who I think is the youngest out of them. I mean, they were just stacked along that kind of linebacker and defensive end hybrid position. And I mean, of course, it's great to have all those pieces, but I feel like they might have wanted to maybe try to move one of them or get something out of them while they could.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, I like Umenyiora though. If he's just got that fire in him, he's one of those players, you know. If he's healthy, Umenyiora is a heck of a player that you have for his team. Not only his veteran leadership, but the dude can ball. But I don't know, pretty exciting. You want to move over to the Redskins? Because I'm getting pretty excited here talking free agency. So London Fletcher. This is a dude, I'm really excited about London Fletcher. I posted on Darwin-Sports.com yesterday, and everyone else, you can check it out everywhere. That is that it looks like he's coming back. Dude, if you're a Redskins fan, how excited are you? Because I think last week I was hearing talk, who's going to be the leader on the defense if London Fletcher leaves? Well, London Fletcher might not leave. So you don't have to worry about that, dude. How excited are you for the defense? What do you think that means? Does it mean much? Of course it does. What do you think that means to you?
Well, the thing that I've actually listened to and heard some people say is the fact that maybe they don't want London Fletcher back, which was a big shock to me.
You heard that? I actually didn't hear that. Really?
Yeah, I've heard some people on Sports Talk Radio say that coming off the injuries, his age, it might be time to move on and so forth. I think that his leadership won, and if you go ahead and take a look back at his production too, are just overwhelmingly impressive to me, especially for his age. But pieces that the Redskins would miss, I think, for a couple years. I think you look at a guy like Perry Riley, who's kind of moved into the other middle linebacker spot and played alongside him. It took him a couple years to get kind of brought up to speed. He's finally starting to produce a little bit. Yep. But I still remember when I think it was his first couple years, it just seemed like the only thing he was doing was playing special teams. Not even doing that great on special teams, but good to see him coming along. But I think I am not a D'Angelo Hall fan. I'm sorry. He's a Virginia Tech Hokie, which is obviously my alma mater, but I'm not a D'Angelo Hall guy. I think there was a stat that came out, I don't know if it was going into last year, maybe halfway through the last year's. He's one of the most burnt, consistently beat corners in the NFL. His coverage is not that great, which doesn't help with a team that doesn't have that, that great of safeties. So he doesn't have much help over the top, but he gets very exposed out there. He takes a lot of gambles.
He gets beat hard.
Yeah, and so in my opinion,
Hokie love. We have people saying Hokie love.
In my opinion, if they can cut him and clear up some cap space, that would be great. But the thing is, it's who else they can get to kind of fill his shoes.
Yeah. I don't know if they're necessarily going to bring this guy back. They might. $8.3 million, Coleman. That's the cap hit that this guy that the Redskins have with this guy, $8.3 million. London Fletcher, $6.2 million. So he also has to be re-signed and restructured and all at the same time. Brandon Merriweather, $3.5 million. That's what he comes with. What would you bring Brandon Merriweather back? He showed to be a beast. The game, or how about this, Coleman? The 3 quarters that he played for the Washington Redskins this past season, he showed to be phenomenal. But 3 quarters, Coleman, are you going to bring him back?
Gosh, what a oh man, what a sad story for Brandon Merriweather. He was always a guy that I felt like had potential and had some talent, but I guess with his recent injury problems and just like the way his season went last year, I'm just not sure if he's worth the risk for the Redskins at this point in time. That with the amount of money that I guess you just talked about right there, that's going to be a tough decision to make. But then again, I think the Redskins, when they're looking at all these guys that they have right now, and whether they're gonna keep them or whether they're gonna cut them, they also have to look, if they do cut them, they do let them go, who's going to take their position, and are they going to be able to get that person at an affordable amount? So, across the board, when you're looking at different guys that are kind of competing for a roster spot or who they might cut, you got to also look how big of a hit they would take in terms of who's the guy that's going to be standing in there, talent-wise, the next year.
Brother Brady, welcome, Brother Brady. I see Brother Brady's chiming in. I miss you, Brother Brady. But yeah, Brother Brady says that, he's probably going to be here because sadly, he's the best one that we have in the roster. And dang it, Brother Brady, you are right, sir. You're right. That's the problem. Carlos Rogers, as much as Washington Redskins fans hated on the man because he was Butterfinger Rogers right here, hater number 1, standing right here, talking right here. He was always in the right places at the right time. He didn't catch the ball. That's a big problem, and I hated him, and I hated his play. I didn't hate him. I hated his play, and it pissed me off, and et cetera, et cetera. But he was always there. Now, you don't have anything. You not only do you have guys not catching the ball, you don't have guys not hitting them in the chest. I want someone back there to hit him in the face, hit him in the chest again, man. At least it's going to bounce off the dude and not in the receiver's hands. And that's what Carlos Rogers did for the Redskins. And look what happened when technology caught up to him and he got contacts in his eyes. He caught the balls. My goodness, it's crazy. But ever since that, Coleman, I think the cornerback position has been struggling for the Redskins. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Yeah, it has. I really look at the draft as an area where I think the Redskins will try to upgrade the secondary. As I kind of mentioned last week, that's a deep the cornerback position as well as the safety position are 2 pretty deep areas of the NFL draft. So I look for them at least to spend that second round pick on the secondary. If they are going to make a move after somebody in free agency, I think you look on the offensive side of the ball and actually look at right tackle, which some might argue is just as big of a need or a bigger need for an area that they might try to use some free agency dollars, because right now they need a guy that can step in and start and play along the line. If you think about it, last year they were actually quite fortunate with the way their offensive line held together. But that right tackle position is something that needs to be improved upon and needs to be improved upon quickly.
Right on, my man. And so, here we go. RG3 woman, she flew into the chat box. She says that Butterfinger Carlos Rogers is another great / frustrating example of someone sucking with the Redskins and then going on and succeeding with another team. Tell me about it. That's why I just was hating on LaRon Landry and seeing him at a top 9 of free agent list here in the market. Are you kidding me? Freaking LaRon Landry, when the dude couldn't get out on the freaking field and he makes it into the Pro Bowl for the Jets? Oh, come on, man. I need a come on, man moment, or vamos, man. You know what I mean, dude? Like, oh, dude, are you kidding me? Like, LaRon Landry? Nah, man. Like, by the way, do you think, like, if we both arm wrestled him at the same time, would we be able to beat him?
Not a chance.
Really?
Not a chance.
Dude, you have weight. My weight.
I'd stand sideways and his biceps still bigger than me.
Yeah, but if I cling and hang on one end and then you push on the other, but his arm down, and you're we can get him down.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm down, dude. Come on, Coleman, you can't dismiss us.
Do I get a running start?
We're monsters, dude. We can drink some Red Bull before. Come on, man. We got you. Watch yourself, Laurent Landry. Coming after you. I arm wrestled. I forget this dude. I went to a Shamrock. No, was it? Yeah, the Shamrock Fest.
Mm-hmm.
No, not Shamrock Fest. What is the one that the one that DC 101 Kegs and Eggs? Went to Kegs and Eggs. DC 101 does.
Oh, okay.
A few years back, I went to Kegs and Eggs, and they had the arm wrestling champion Travis something dude there. And he was just there on the side, brought his table and everything, was arm wrestling people. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take you. Oh, dude's a monster. Have you ever seen Over the Top? No. Brother Brady, you're an older gentleman like myself. Brother Brady, you've seen Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone? I'm sure you have. Great movie, dude. Over the Top, dude. Back in the days, let me tell you, that I loved arm wrestling as a kid. That got me pumped up, man. The dude travels in a Mack truck, and all day he pumps his right arm and does exercises with his right arm, and he stops at truck stops and arm wrestles for money. Dude, it's intense.
Brother Brady said he's flexing for you.
Oh, thank you, Brother Brady. So Brother Brady, is that a yes to Over the Top or no? I think I'm alone on this one. Coleman, I think I'm alone. We can change the subject.
Real quick, before we do change the subject, that a couple people that I kind of see the Redskins targeting in free agency, and I want to get your take on it. I did just mention the right tackle position. Guy the Chiefs just released that's actually been making his way in a lot of headlines recently as a potential target for the Redskins is Eric Winston. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if anybody out there is familiar with the name, but Eric Winston was a guy that I believe the Shanahans drafted in Denver, got released, then went to Houston, so he's hitting on all the Shanahan places, but now, then went to Kansas City, now released by Kansas City. He's just kind of been around a little bit. But I think you got to look at him as somebody that might be able to fill that right tackle position for the Redskins.
That's a good one. And since you're going, I got excited there. There's more guys. Santana Moss is another guy. That's a big name if you're a Redskins fan because Santana Moss had a ridiculous season at the beginning with the Redskins, and he just had a monstrous season with the Redskins. Broke out late in the season too with Robert Griffin III. Showed up to be a great guy, a great 1-2 punch. So man. That was a really good combination. It was just that. So if you're the Washington Redskins, do you want to bring Santana Moss back knowing that he dropped weight last year? He's doing what he needs to do. He knows what he needs to do because he needs to compete with these younger dudes. If not, he's going to lose a little position that he's got. But the chances that he got, he made the most out of it. He took it to the bank with those plays. He scored touchdowns, and he had great chemistry. He provides veteran leadership on and off the field. I mean, why wouldn't you bring him back if you can restructure and cut that money down? Wouldn't you, Coleman?
Right. Yeah, no, and if you look at London Fletcher on the defensive side of the ball, as somebody that's kind of been a Redskins faithful, you kind of look at Santana. I kind of look at Santana Moss on the offensive side of the ball as a guy that's very similar. Really like what he's done for this team over the past couple of years. It seemed like they needed a big play. A lot of times last year, he was the one making it. I'm a huge Santana Moss guy. I would love to see him back.
I call it he drank the juice. And it's not the purple drink that Jamarcus Russell was drinking, okay? Jamarcus Russell was drinking the purple drink that I still want to try at some point. I just got to get me some purple drink. People, if there's purple drink providers like moonshine makers out there, you bring a little moonshine, you bring in a little Gatorade, a bottle, you bring the purple drink too. Brother Brady, I know you have connections to the purple drink, and if you say no, Brother Brady, I know you're lying. Purple drink, man, is this going to happen at the Chipotle, Brother Brady? Is that where we're going to meet up? Hey, let me know. So, no, but seriously, he's drinking the Kool-Aid. A lot of the players, the veteran players, have drank the Kool-Aid because they see the stars, they see W, they see the possibilities that Robert Griffin III can and has brought to the Redskins. You know what I mean? You know my favorite moment when it comes to NFL films and all the clips that you guys, I'm sure all of you watched and we enjoyed the whole season with these phenomenal plays that these dudes were making, especially Robert, was at the very end when the Washington Redskins won the NFC Championship against the Cowboys at FedEx Field. Robert Griffin III is standing next to Alfred, and he goes, "Look, man, look at the scoreboard." He goes, and on the scoreboard was flashing NFC East champions. He goes, "We did it in 1 year." He goes, "We just did it in 1 year, man." You know what I mean? Like, that is so special. Like, that moment, it gives me goosebumps because, man, as fans, Coleman, how long have we waited for that, man? And we have something so special that we just got to keep it on the field and keep it healthy. Man, that's just me. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Big ass burrito with grape Kool-Aid. Purple drink, Brother Brady. It's called Purple Drink.
So that's obviously winning a division championship like that last year. I think that should lead to people wanting to stay, wanting to do things like restructure their deals. Maybe the Redskins. I think you might see the Redskins actually cut a couple people this year that maybe they could get back. Re-signing that maybe they'll test the waters. Might really not see that they're going to get that much money and might just come back home and sign with the Redskins for a little bit less. Which I could be a big fan of, especially if it helps their cap issue. It really gets me mad that this NFL cap penalty is that cloud that's kind of hanging over the Redskins, especially right now, because I feel like they are a couple key positions away from being really good, and the cap is really, really holding them back.
$18 million cap penalty, Coleman. I mean, that sucks, dude. Freaking $18 million. Come on, people. But going down and wrapping this up before we move on to the next thing, we've talked a lot of football here.
We got carried away.
No, and I love it. Trent Williams is another one. Of course, restructure a contract. Roy Halou, that's a good one. Do you think Roy Halou stays or goes? $670,000. That's league minimum. It's not about the money with Roy, but is Roy really healthy? Can he maintain his health? He hasn't shown to be able to be healthy in the NFL. You know what I mean? So do you bring him back?
Well, he's the type of guy that
Alfred Morris?
See, yeah, you got Alfred Morris now, but I think they need a lightning back. They need a guy that can change the pace a little bit. Roy Halou had a couple really good games for a stretch 2 years ago. I don't necessarily want to see him gone just quite yet, but I could understand if they did go ahead and cut ties with him.
Unrestricted free agents. Going to go this list real fast. Chris Cooley, yes, no, bring him back.
Sorry, no.
Fred Davis, absolutely.
Actually, I'm gonna surprise you with this one too. No, I don't like players coming off Achilles injuries.
Okay, I say bring him back. I say don't bring him back for you're gonna break his contract down. I think that he can start for other teams, but I think the Redskins need him more. I also think Logan Paulson did a phenomenal job, so I think overall that tight end position is gonna be all right.
Right. I like the type of tight end he is. I think they do need more of a receiving threat. A guy to keep an eye on. I'm not sure if he might fit into if they do let Fred Davis go, but Jared Cook from the Tennessee Titans last year, he kind of fits their mold a little bit. But I'm not sure if they'll be able to get him for a price cheaper than Fred Davis. So if they could keep Fred Davis for a little bit more or around the same, I would go Fred Davis. But I really don't like him coming off the problems that he's had in the past and the Achilles injuries.
Another one, let's see, Jordan Black.
Gone.
He might stay though. Sav Rocca.
Yeah, keep him. I mean, it's a punter, but yeah, keep him. Why not?
I honestly think that he's an older gentleman. I think they might let him go. Mm-hmm. But Tyler Columbus. Should be entertaining that. The Redskins should entertain that.
Yeah.
Lichtenstein, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Kedrick Golston. I think Kedrick always plays for his contract. He always gets signed. That's my dude.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
I mean, we'll see, but he always earns it, is what I'm saying. I mean, he doesn't require big bank. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Rob Jackson. Yeah, you gotta keep Rob Jackson. Yeah. Lorenzo Alexander. I say you keep him. I heard that if they don't, then he might go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why? Danny Smith. Dang it, Danny Smith. They're gonna take all our good dudes.
Dude, they gotta sign him. Got to sign him. He's a key part of. I mean, we talked about London Fletcher on the defense, Santana Moss on the offense, Lorenzo Alexander on the special teams. Got to make it happen. He's a Pro Bowler. He's one of the best at his position and special teams. I know you might be like, oh, it's just special teams. It's huge. It's huge.
Special teams is big teams.
Need to get him back.
Yeah, definitely. Brian Keel, Chris Wilson. I mean, Chris Wilson played. He's not going to demand too much money. Cedric Griffin.
Yes, for lack of a better person.
Madu Williams.
No.
Tenard Jackson, free safety.
Man, this is making me worried about their secondary. That's for sure. Oh, man.
And there's already not much. Restricted free agents. Chris Baker. I say they got to bring him back. He was in every game this past season. He contributed in every game. That's pretty big for the Washington Redskins. That means you need that guy. The depth is not there. You need that guy. Logan Paulson. He turned out to be a quality backup for Fred Davis. He got the job done in terms of not only blocking. He caught the ball. He doesn't have that burst off the line of scrimmage, but the dude gets the job done. He's a good tight end. He's got great size. He's a beast.
Yeah, I like him.
Not a beast like phenomenal tight end, but good enough. He can get the job done.
Right.
You know? Darrell Young, bring him back, man. Mm-hmm. Bring him back. Bring him out. He helped pave the way for Alfred Morris, second in the league NFL rushing yards. Got to bring him back. Yes?
Yeah, definitely agree.
Brandon Banks. See ya.
Adios.
Wouldn't want to be ya. And my dude,